Hey, today we're in the kitchen making homemade yeast rolls. Stick around. Today we have company coming over and they want to sample some of the corncob jelly that I made. And so I'm gonna make some bread. We don't have any in the house. And the bread calls for milk, and I don't have milk because we don't really drink it very much. I do almond milk. But so right now I am converting my milk. This is freeze-dried milk, completely powdered, and I'm putting 3 tablespoons to 1 cup of water to rehydrate my milk. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll get started on the bread. All right, let's get started. I've got instant yeast. And I have scissors, so I don't have to fight with it. So I'm going to add our yeast to a 1/2 cup of water. This is warm water. Mine is right at 105 degrees. I just want to stir this up really, really well. Get all of it off the sides. And let it sit. You do not want the temperature of your water above 115 or it will kill your yeast, and we do not want that. So we're gonna let this sit until it starts bubbling up a little bit. In the meantime, I've got 2 tablespoons of sugar here. I'm going to add the 1 cup of milk and 4 tablespoons of melted butter. So let me gather those and we'll start mixing that. So in the mixer, I have 4 cups of all-purpose flour and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We are going to add our yeast mixture to our milk mixture. Make sure we have all of that yeast out of there. Stir that together. And now we are going to add this to our flour. We're going to put the dough hook on and add that to our flour. All right, I think you can see everything in here. I'm going to go ahead and put my dough hook on. Down. There we go. It doesn't want to go on. It'd help if I do it the right direction. Okay, there's our dough hook. I'm going to raise this up and I'm going to start adding the liquid in. Now I'm going to let this run for about 5 or 6 minutes kneading this dough, and I'll show you what it looks like whenever it's finished. Okay, we've been kneading the dough for about 5 minutes and it is looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. I don't know why this just doesn't want to cooperate with me today. There we go. Maybe it's because I don't use this dough hook very often. That could have something to do with it. Let me get all that off of there. And now we are just going to cover this and let it rise for an hour. So we will see you back in an hour and show you what it looks like. Right, our dough has been sitting for an hour. So we're gonna punch it down. No, you're not gonna punch it.
I want to punch it. Can I punch it?
No, you don't get to punch. And I'm gonna get just a little bit of flour so this doesn't stick to my hands.
Here we go.
So, as you can tell, I am not alone in the kitchen.
I'm making rice.
Blake is making rice, which is his favorite food. what he texts me all the time, is that I'm old.
I don't just text it. I stream it across the house.
True, he does.
Because you're old.
That's his way of telling me he loves me. It is. I speak Blake language.
Blinking.
Yes. All right, so I split our dough in half. Still a little bit sticky. I don't want to put a lot of flour on it though. We still want it to be light. So that's all you need to do. So I split it in half. I'm going to split it in half again. Set that there. No, put it down. Give me back my dough.
No.
So we are just going to roll nice little rolls. And you kind of put the folds on the bottom like that. And put it in the pan. You don't need a lot of flour added to it,
I know,
son.
I just needed it on my hands. Because I just had water on my hands.
You should dry your hands first
Probably.
instead of adding flour.
It's fine. There's a cat.
And there goes the clock. It likes to chime every time I'm videoing. All right, so there again. Just make our nice little roll, stick that in there. And I'm not gonna make you watch me do this whole thing.
You should.
Now, after much interference from my youngest son,
Huh?
these are ready. So we're gonna cover them again and we're gonna let them rise for about 20 minutes and then we're gonna bake them. All right, our rolls are ready. I'm gonna brush a little bit of butter on top and put them in the oven. The oven's preheated at 375 degrees. We're gonna bake them, I think, for 20 minutes. I'll have to double check. Here's our finished product. I think it looks pretty good for a really quick bread recipe. Got the tomato sauce canning. You can hear the baby quail in the background. They just hatched this morning.